Hi there, I'm Julie Sanford and I do chip inlay jewelry. I'm also an instructor. There is a common problem people have when the epoxy doesn't set up right. So the typical epoxy that we use for chip inlay jewelry cures in 24 hours. What happens after you wait 24 hours and your piece is still too sticky to finish? That does happen occasionally. So here I have one that's all nice and set up. You can't see fingernail marks in it. It's all nice and hard like stone. And then here's a piece that even though it sat for a day and a half, it's still sticky. I can still see poke marks when I poke into it. So I can tell you it doesn't work. So we've tried to just let this sit there, maybe a few more days, check it out, it's still too sticky. Another thing that we've done before was to put it on a hot plate. Maybe some heat will help cure that. It didn't work at all. It just got really, really runny. And then when it cooled off, it was still too sticky. So the only thing that we've come up with that can cure uncurable epoxy is to just start over. And yes, it is so sad, but we can dig this epoxy out. If it is sticky like caramel, which is usually what happens, you can just take a tool and start pulling it out. If it's a little rigid and just slightly sticky and you can't just pull it out as easily as this, put it on a hot plate. It'll relax that epoxy. Sometimes it'll even make it really runny, and then you can get that epoxy back out of there. And then cleaning it up after this, we'll just take a little bit of alcohol wipes and pads and get that in there and clean it out. And then you can, clean up the metal and then refill it. The problem arises, the reason why it gets sticky like this is that maybe you didn't mix it completely. So you have two equal parts, you mix it together on your surface, you don't stir it long enough, or you're using part of the puddle that's off to the side that didn't have part A or part B mixed into it, and you're using like all of this epoxy, but it wasn't all mixed in good. So that's usually the culprit. It's fairly easy to get an even mix, so it's usually not that you don't have an equal mix, it's that you didn't mix it well enough. So it is a bummer that you can't salvage the resin in this piece, but you can salvage the piece. And if you want to learn how to make a piece with good solid resin like this box pendant, check out the link to my workshop in the description below, and thanks for watching.